wasting my time. Okay. I'll tell you what I really think. I think you don't really care about his motives, whether he loves or hates you. I think somewhere deep down, you're just terrified. Because you're not sure he's wrong, huh? You think they deserved it, huh? You think they deserved it.
Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I'm vengeance.
I have given a name to my pain.
The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham. I'm Batman.
Hello and welcome to the Batman on Film Social Hour. This is episode 95 in the 18th chapter of the Batman, chapter by chapter. My name is Mike Ramey, and I am an amateur BOF contributor to the show, and I'm joined as always with BOF founder Bill Jet Ramey, my father. How you doing today?
I'm Micah. I'm doing well. Give us give the audience a 15-second review of Black Adam since you saw it last night.
Just like I told you all a few minutes ago, I would say Black Adam is slightly above average with some cool characters, especially Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. And the movie has its moments, highs and lows, I would say, but I recommend it.
You going to do a Raimi review on YouTube?
I reckon I'm going to try to get in there in the studio and do one, but
all right.
Yeah.
Very good.
He reckons that's like a guarantee.
And the man speaking there is also joining us today, BOF senior contributor and host of the Batman Book Club, Ryan Lauer. How you doing, sir?
Good. It's good to see you here on the throne around these here parts of BOF, Micah.
Yeah, this is episode 95. Do you know what Dallas Cowboy, the greatest 95 of all time, is?
Go ahead, Bill. That's a question for you.
Chad Hennings.
Chad Hennings, obviously.
Chad Hennings. He was an Air Force veteran, graduated from the academy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Defensive tackle, 1992 to 2000.
Yeah. I feel
11th round draft pick when they had like 217 rounds of the NFL draft.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, when did they stop doing that? That's kind of insane to draft.
Late 90s. They knocked it, kept it, went to 8. Yeah. There used to be like 27, like he was a 27th round draft pick back in the day.
Wow.
For real.
Why would you want to have that many guys to cut?
That's back when the draft was nothing like it is. It's an event today. It's like huge. But back then it was just they met in New York at a hotel and just did it without any fanfare whatsoever.
Gotcha. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. How would you find out about it? And then just like in the Dallas Morning News or something like that?
Yeah. I think I'm just going back. The first, like when they would introduce draft picks, I remember Aikman in 89, but before, and I was, I was out of high school. I graduated college in 89. So it just wasn't a big deal, even in the 70s and 80s. But there was huge growth with the NFL in the 90s. And you can thank that. You can thank Jerry Jones for that.
Yeah.
That's why he's in Hall of Fame. He took the NFL to a new level. So anyway, I'm on it. You got me on it. a sports history tangent. So
let's just detour that then. All right, Dallas Cowboys season 1991. All right, Bill, let's break it down. Game 1.
I believe they got smoked by the Philadelphia Eagles.
Damn,
to be honest,
on it today. My goodness,
rough day.
They ended up in 91. They ended up winning, like going on a 7-game run at the end and getting in the playoffs. Troy Aikman got hurt. Steve Berline took over.
Berline.
And they lost the first round to the no. They won the first round. They beat the Chicago Bears. And then they lost the second round to the Detroit Lions.
Oh.
And then 91. Of course, we know what happened the year after, and the year after, then 2 years after that, won 3 Super Bowls out of 4. So
what you're telling me is the Cowboys can survive with a backup quarterback and then also win Super Bowls with their main quarterback when he comes back?
Yes. Yep. That's exactly what I'm saying. Ryan, how was today? What happened? What was the outcome of the 95 Michigan Wolverines season?
That was the outcome of the 96 was when they won the national championship, and it was January 1997. So 95, I'm not sure. I also wasn't really watching then.
Okay.
Yeah, they did fine in 95. But I think, the 96 season, which then I think the national championship, that was when Brian Greasy was the quarterback.
Brian Greasy.
And
that's Bo Schembechler. I butchered his name.
That was Lloyd Carr.
Lloyd Carr.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it was, Tom Brady. And then the last known on the main stage was Rose Bowl. And that was Tom Brady's senior year. And they won the Rose Bowl. It would have been, 99? There you go. Anyways. And then obviously neither one of them went on and did anything. So.
Yeah, they just went into obscurity.
Tongue firmly in cheek.
Yes. Okay. Let's get this back on track. I could go off on a tangent. You know that. I can go off on tangents. All right, Michael. Sorry.
Yeah. To get back on track today, we're talking about the 2 deleted scenes. You can find them easily on YouTube or HBO Max, but I believe all 3 of us watched them from the Blu-ray, which come with director's commentary from Matt Reeves. And I'm sure you could find those as well. I don't think they're available on HBO Max with the commentary. I actually looked, and maybe I overlooked that, but I'm sure you can.
I used the Blu-ray, so
they are available on YouTube. I mean, somebody's even uploaded where it's each deleted scene followed by each deleted scene with commentary. So that's actually where I watched it. So I abandoned my Blu-ray today. Yeah. So first time this whole chapter by chapter, I had to watch it online, but it happens. Sorry,
you're gonna get your Batman card taken away.
I know it'll get taken away. My show will get shut down. You'll stop posting it on BOF.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start with the Joker deleted scene. Matt Reeves calls it the unseen prisoner. I believe when it was announced, I know you guys did a BOF social hour talking specifically about this when it was released. What was it, in July, June, around there, kind of to lead more promotion, or maybe it was earlier than that.
It might have been in April.
Yeah, I want to say April. You're right, because it was kind of to jumpstart more a promotion for the movie. And had to do with the RaTaLada.com and all that. Yeah. So there's another BOF social out there if you want to listen to more of the breakdown of the announcement and everything like that. But we'll just get into the Joker scene. How did you guys think about it? I'll just start with you, Bill. How'd you feel about it? And do you think it should have been included in the movie? Because that's the main thing I kind of want to talk about is, was it necessary to be deleted?
I think I get why it was taken out. It is it might have taken away a little bit of the confrontation that Batman has with the Riddler at Arkham. They put him, he's in the same visitation block or whatever you want to call that at Arkham. But it's we'll get into the details, but just to answer that question, yes, I think I get why it's taken out. You had added, I mean, it's 5 minutes, but so it takes place after what the hell's going on here? That guy, right? After they go to the morgue and Batman finds another card. And just listen to the Reeves. He said Batman's getting disturbed why he's sending these cards to him. So that's why he goes to Arkham to get more insight. But I'll just, yes, I get why it's taken out, and I'm glad they released it so we could talk about it. But I don't think it needed to be part of the film necessarily.
Yeah, I can agree with that. How do you feel about it, Ryan?
I too I'm fine with it not being included in the movie. Just it's easier. The fact that I saw the movie and it wasn't included in the movie, I accepted the fact of like, well, I'm not going to go back and be like, oh, this should have been included in blah blah blah, and just being fine with that. And then in watching it too, I really, and then listening to like Reeves's comments about why it wasn't included in the movie and stuff, all of it just does make sense. And so I don't know how much of it is my own thoughts merged with what he said.
Mm-hmm.
I am glad that it's there as an extra for all of us to just go and seek out if we want to. And by many people who probably don't even know it exists, watch the movie, and then when they watch the sequel, who knows if the Joker is going to be in it at all or whatever, they won't feel like they're missing out on anything either. Like they can't make sense because they didn't watch the deleted scene. You know, it's completely fine. And I do like, I think as Reeves said, something of maybe it's like a little short film just on the side that you can watch and fit into the universe.
I think it was a very cool, I mean, I mentioned earlier about a promotional tool for the movie. I don't think I've ever seen that before, where they release a deleted scene like while the film is still in the movies. So while you think you've seen everything, you haven't yet. And at first, before I listened to the director's commentary, which I think Reeves talks about the film in depth in that video. But before, I was kind of upset that it wasn't the movie just because it was so damn good. But it definitely, like my father says, kind of dilutes the final confrontation between Batman and Riddler. Because technically, if you watch the theatrical cut, it is the only, or without the deleted scene, it is the first time he goes to Arkham. But I think this scene is just so incredibly well done. An acting level, especially one from a cinematography level of Joker being, I mean, it's called Unseen Prisoner for a reason, where you know it's Joker for sure, but it's just he's faded enough where you can't make out those, Joker details that we know, and he looks new and completely different, something we haven't seen before. And I love how, just like with the Riddler scene, how whenever the camera shifts changes, the audio changes. So instead of hearing it from a microphone, you hear it from the man personally. How'd you guys feel about this version of the Joker, Barry Keoghan?
He was pretty ugly.
Yeah.
But I feel like in comments, so I think an obvious inspiration here from Reeves and Company was Lee Bermejo's Joker from the book Joker. I think to me the biggest identifier there is the teeth in the mouth. But it's just, I mean, I think Bermejo has said comments. It's a fascinating thing of almost like you shouldn't be rooting on the Joker, period. And there's a and then my thoughts is like, well, it's very obvious, I think, from people, because people are genuinely superficial. It's easier to not root for somebody when they look like really ugly and it's a villain. And I think it was just uncomfortable, even though he's mostly blurred out, uncomfortable to look at. And in the end, I do think that is, we have not had that with a live action Joker yet. Like it's looked genuinely like I don't know. I mean, Heath Ledger's Joker, arguably the best Joker in live action. It's not like he was necessarily like ugly to look at or uncomfortable to look at. I think even Leto's, which did have the, chalky skin and all that, it wasn't like uncomfortable to look at. Like this is an uncomfortable person to look at. So it's unsettling. And I think a lot of reactions to that was, they were mixed and all over the place of trying, there were some claiming that like they're trying too hard to try and make it something different and that there is a Joker look, just do the Joker. And I don't know. We'll see what it does and what it works, because with the angle of uncomfortability, I mean, from the get-go, we're not going to be I just don't think we're going to ever be rooting on this Joker. I'm just being like, oh man, he's so awesome, and I hope he beats Batman or anything, because there is that just unsettling vibe with him, period.
Yeah, you have to do something different aesthetically, because you've had, of course, I mean, before this, you had Jack Nicholson, you had Heath Ledger, you've had Leto, and you've even, throw in Joaquin Phoenix. So you got to do something different and unique. If they had done anything like, what the argument is, they should have done traditional Joker. Well, you kind of got traditional Joker with Jack Nicholson. So if you go that route, you're going to get, well, now they're just copying this or they're copying that. So I mean, if you show someone a picture of that again, right? Mm-hmm. Show someone a picture just out in the street. Who is this? They would say the Joker. I mean, palish skin, green hair, grin, and this one permanent grin. Reeves also said, besides Bermejo, and it's actually that Joker he did for Batman on film back in the day. The peeled back lips, as opposed to the way the Joker in the Joker graphic novel. But Reeves mentioned they went back to like The Man Who Laughs, a silent movie that inspired Bob Kane and Bill Finger, or I should say Bill Finger and Jerry Robinson, it's a different story altogether. And also The Elephant Man, and the fact that he didn't want to go with, the vat of acid thing or the cut smile thing. We've been there. So he does it where he's had this affliction since birth. So it helped form him to be what he is, because he's been an outcast. And like you said, it's hard to look at, Ryan, so he's been hard to look at and had that reaction his whole life. So I'm perfectly fine. And also Reeves says, he's not yet the Joker. He's going to become the Joker, but he's not what we know as the Joker just yet. Even though Batman has had a confrontation with him before, which was on purpose. Reeves also mentioned, and I like when he says, what's he tell Batman? It's almost our anniversary when he comes in.
Yeah.
So
I think as you said too, if he's becoming, like, he's not yet the Joker, if and when that time comes where he's out of Arkham, like right now he's not in charge of his look.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean, he's out of Arkham. He gets to choose his clothes. He gets to choose if he wants to cover up some of his disfigurings and stuff with white makeup. Maybe he wants to, I don't know, do something more. Do something that wear a purple suit when he's in charge. Like, I don't know, the endless possibilities that could lean more into the quote unquote classic Joker. When you think about it in that look, when he's in charge of, of his own aesthetic, because he's not underneath, under the guards at Arkham, and I think, I know that's thinking like really deep into it to where it doesn't matter, but sometimes there's just such a strong reaction to things when it's like, oh, it's okay. I mean, of course, everybody's allowed to have a reaction. Everybody has a reaction. But the heavy ones, it's like, well, let's see where this goes.
I think what's really interesting about this Joker is it always seems with every incarnation that Joker isn't always necessarily the greatest guy. Then the physical change, whether it be vat of acid or him cutting himself, whatever Ledger did, that was the moment he really started becoming the Joker. But what's even more interesting is this Joker's been like this his entire life. So he's had an entire life of learning how to be a manipulator. And I mean, Reeves talks about that. While most people would be afraid and hate and depressed, they have this type of scarring. This Joker seems to own it and use it against people and manipulate them. And Reeves spends a lot of time talking about how he's a manipulator. I like how in the scene that are at first with Batman, he seems very friendly and excited to see Batman, and then quickly becomes like almost like an analyst, very Hannibal Lecter, with kind of dissecting this Riddler case file.
Oh,
and then he turns a switch and becomes that manipulator at the end very quickly.
He gets into Batman's head very, very fast once he gets those files. And I don't know if y'all got this, but it seems like Batman he went there wanting to get insight into the serial killer he's looking for now from a serial killer he took out a year before. But it seems like he's a little bit apprehensive to talk to the Joker, maybe because he knows how the Joker is going to try to get into his head pretty quick, which he does, and Batman's just like, I'm getting the hell out of here. He's got a different demeanor there at Arkham with the Joker than he does with the Riddler later on in the film that we see, or the scene we actually see in the film.
Maybe it's a whole control factor too. Going into the Joker's, he feels like he's in control. When he goes to Riddler, he's not in control.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also that's part of this scene being omitted. I think it might have, to me, I think it might have detracted a little bit for the Riddler scene later on. Because Riddler scene later on, all of us are watching. We're like, oh shit, he's going to Arkham. He's going to and it's big. And then that whole moment that Bill, you and I've talked about in a chapter by chapter of like, that's a big scene. It's a great scene. Not saying it would have been lessened, but it's like, oh, it feels like we were just in this room an hour ago.
Yes, absolutely.
Talking kind of the same thing. And I mean, I know you can do that. I mean, how many times does Batman go meet Gordon again by the bat signal, and it's same location, but different motivations and stuff. But I'm glad it was omitted for that reason. But it's something that I think that he does try to nail home in the scene in Joker scene is that, the punchline, if you will, is in saying that Batman's afraid that he feels like they deserved it. The victims deserved it. And I didn't get that in the movie at all. And I know Gordon even says it at one point too to Batman in the movie. Like, you're talking about it
prior.
Like he deserved it. And I didn't necessarily feel that, but I also know for me, my Batman, my Bruce Wayne, like he doesn't think that way. Even if somebody is corrupt and everything, he does not feel like you deserve to die, or you know what I mean? Stuff like that's just not Batman to me. He's about justice. So
I think there's part of that conflict that he's going through during this arc of that. The Riddler is like Batman taking it to the next level, and that's what the Riddler thinks they're the same. They're in it together, and there's got to be a little bit of Batman questioning himself, thinking, because it is a little bit of a theme of, Gordon, you mentioned Gordon hits on it, like you act like had it coming, and what was Batman say? Who's a good cop or
he's cop cross the line.
Cross the line. Yeah. So without any really not much of remorse in that line or sympathies, like, maybe he got what was coming to him. And part of that makes Batman question the whole vengeance thing and what, that he needs to be more, which we talked about last time.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has those thoughts, but that doesn't necessarily make them reality.
Yes. Yes.
And it's part of the inner struggle he goes on throughout the film that you mentioned. So I don't think he doesn't care about them. He's definitely somewhat upset about them passing, I would say, because he's trying to prevent them, but he's definitely not reacting in the way where you showed him the only emotion you showed for someone's death was Alfred in that one scene racing through the Batmobile. So it's night and day reaction. So
I think there's a lot of good writing here. Just some things that Reeves and his other writers gave for the Joker to say. I mean, I like, when he hands him he puts in the files, that's when the Joker talks about his first anniversary. First anniversary's paper, and
Mm-hmm.
you think I'm that cheap,
Yeah.
you think I get off on this stuff, and Batman's, like, well, don't you? And he's like, and that's when, like Micah pointed out, there's like a switch is flipped, and that at that point he's all in to mess with Batman. At that point,
Mm-hmm.
it says flat out, I know who he is. Like little puzzles, like he's been planning this his whole life. He's a nobody who wants to be somebody, so he doesn't know. He's got him figured out pretty quick of who the person is, what his motivations are, but not necessarily, not his actual identity,
Mm-hmm.
It's personal, people who wronged him. And, Batman gets around to asking him, why is he writing to me? Maybe he's a fan of yours, which was the case, we find out. Or maybe you're the main course. So
I like the
good stuff. It's good dialogue from the Joker.
When he starts, he says something about, you think that I get off on this, and there's quick whips from Batman throughout the movie that we've definitely highlighted, and here it just seems like just like that instantly, and Batman's just quick, like, don't you? Like, like there's something Pattinson's Batman delivers so matter of fact and like bluntly, but also a little subtle too, in like meanings and delivery and stuff, which is like, it's the smallest thing right there of how quickly, and he just says, don't you? And it's almost, it gets the little like from me, because like classic Batman, like,
it is.
He got you there.
I love the paired shot of them sitting down at the same time, very slowly.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about that after he says, don't you? They're both bad. You can see Batman's uncomfortability with being there with the Joker.
Yeah. He's comfortable. I like how he's giving him all these possibilities of who he is and the motivations. And he says, you're both masked Avengers, and he's giggling about it, and it's like he sees, I can get in the Batman's head here, because that's when he starts he's going to start going into you're asking yourself if, or you think he's right. You think he's doing the right thing. Or you think he deserved it, is what he actually says. But, and you're afraid he makes you look soft, because
there's something demonic about this Joker, because that final switch when he flips to that manipulator, when Batman's about to leave and he says, okay, when he says, okay, that change of voice, it just feels, that's when I truly heard like some true deep darkness to that Joker.
I was going to say, I feel like he's talking at a higher pitch too throughout it all, which you match that with, you're already a little unsettled by the brief glimpses that we get of him. And then it just feels like he is talking at a higher pitch, which also feels, that feels like it would fit with the Joker some. Just comparing the ones before, I think of Heath Ledger's, and he talked in a lot like deeper, a little lower, and this did seem very, and like even when he laughed, he's like, kind of thing, which is a little nails on the chalkboard-ish, not in a way of like, man, shut it off, but almost like you're squirmy a little bit in his talking, matched out with the looks. And if this is a slow build to, the main course of this Joker, like it's gonna be unsettling and different than what we've seen yet, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
And I
wonder
thought
if
this
what
laugh at the end was much better than what it was shown in the movie. I feel I really enjoyed it.
it's just like I just wrote in my notes, big letters, ha 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 ha.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
You're writing your
Really.
own Joker
'Cause it's-
scene.
he really enjoyed messing with Batman.
Mm-hmm.
He tells him, you know how Batman is like, I want you know how he thinks. He goes, oh, you know how you know exactly how he thinks, and he's kind of giggling when he says that. You're afraid he makes you look soft, and I think deep down you think they deserved it. And he just bust out laughing because he's like, he came here to get insight, and it's like he messed with Batman, and Batman's pissed. He's like getting his stuff and getting the hell out of there. And he's won that confrontation in a way because I don't know how much insight Batman got, because the Joker is kind of pointing out, oh, you know exactly how he thinks. You didn't need to come here.
Mm-hmm.
You already know. And it's like, it's a joke. It's funny. And that's got to be a little unsettling for Batman as well, because he's kind of putting a mirror in front of Batman.
Mirror.
Yeah.
It's Nichols
And
that's mirror.
Yeah.
And that lad, when Joker finally tells Batman what he really thinks, that camera work there is just some mastery of the slow reveal of Joker's mouth moving up.
You never see his full face.
You still never see his full face, which is awesome. I love. So there's still something to be excited about if we see Barry Keoghan again.
Do you think we'll see the effects of the missing paperclip?
Maybe in that Arkham show or in the Batman 2 or 3. Hopefully.
Reeves is
cool
too
touch.
He's too meticulous. He wouldn't be like, oops, accidentally left a paperclip out. It's like, no, it's you know every single frame of your movie. That's intentional.
It's I got me thinking. I know has Reeves or anyone said anything, or has it just been talk, fans pointed it out and then it's become, a fan discussion?
I haven't seen anything about Reeves commenting on it.
You can say maybe he uses it as a weapon. Maybe he uses it to help get out of Arkham at some point. I don't know,
It could go a variety of ways.
Locks.
If the Arkham show happens, I could see him, and this could dip onto the Grant Morrison Arkham story of like, out there's the madhouse, like a Joker. Knowing that he could break out at any moment, and yet he wants to stay in Arkham because that's where Edward Nashton is, and that's where that's where Crazy Quill is, and Egghead. So it's a lot more fun for him to play. It's a big toy box inside of Arkham. Like that could be a cool idea if they do the show. For a movie, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just spitballing now, but I don't know. That seems like very Joker and could be cool to see.
Yeah. I just think the bottom line with this scene, I thought the characterization, the dialogue that they wrote, the interaction between Joker and Batman. It was very Joker. So that's where I always go with is like, don't. It's not really the aesthetic, because how much how much people freaked out when Heath Ledger's Joker wasn't perma white. Back
they did.
Yeah,
I must have missed that.
You didn't hear about that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was a whole thing, man.
A whole ordeal.
Yeah. Wow.
I never guessed.
And it's like you talk about like Mr. Freeze or whatever, and I'm like, that doesn't define him being frozen, literally frozen, doesn't have to define the character.
What defines Mr. Freeze? His diamonds.
Yes.
That's the identifier.
So, but getting back to my point in a roundabout way, it's they nailed the essence of what the Joker is, and just that little taste of Batman Joker relationship. So I thought it was cool. Even the Reeves wanted, we're never going to get like in the Dark Knight, the first time Batman and the Joker meet. This was that they've had a history. Wherever
like
happens
that.
going forward.
And I like that too.
Yeah.
They have a history that we can just play with in our heads, and maybe they'll shine some light on it later, like down the road.
Yeah.
Reminisce about it or something.
Anyone have any final thoughts before we move on to the Catwoman deleted scene?
I think I just gave mine, Ryan.
Oh crap. No, not really. I mean, I'm giving mine. I don't want to say that there isn't enough here to. I don't think there's enough here that I don't think he can be included on your favorite live action Joker list yet. Like, there's just not enough context with this one. It was a brief deleted scene, and then he's in silhouette and in shadow in the movie. So enough to nibble in hopes that we get a full course Joker meal down the road.
Yeah.
And I'd be fine not having that in the next movie. And Bill, I know that you've said that plenty too. I think Reeves will include Joker as a main character to try and make a definitive trilogy, but I'm very okay with teasing him.
Just teasing
again,
just
keep teasing him before
till we get the big
last
Dukeroo
movie. Exactly.
Big Dukeroo.
Yeah.
Just to build off what you said, Ryan, when I initially saw Keegan's Joker in the film and that short clip with the Joker, I was very hesitant about this version of it. But I will say, after this deleted scene, I am sold on this version so far, and I'm very hungry for whatever full course meal we get later on. Hopefully,
it's a big bowl of cereal.
Hey, don't be sad.
I didn't know where you were gonna go. I thought maybe you were gonna be your boy, Officer Martinez. Hey,
whoa, hey,
Mr. Wayne.
Yeah, no, don't be sad.
Don't be sad. Yeah.
You son of a bitch. Okay.
Got it. I think we've hit all three now.
Yeah. All right.
The trifecta. Okay, let's get into the Catwoman deleted scene, which I also watched via Blu-ray, then Lauer cheaped in and watched it on YouTube.
I'm ashamed.
But watching it, it's a very short scene. It's probably maybe 2 minutes, and it's spliced. It just adds a little bit more depth of whenever Catwoman is working as Batman's informant in the Iceberg Lounge. And it's basically just kind of telling how she gets that hospitality card, that black card, to get access into the 44 below. And it's Catwoman going and meeting Penguin to get that card. And it shows a different side to the Penguin.
Yeah.
Kind of a more vulnerable side that we never really saw in the movie. You definitely could see some insecurities with the Penguin in the movie, but I think this adds another layer to that. Reeves even goes on to say that the Penguin has faced a life of rejection. Bill, how did you feel about this little extra piece, this little nugget, I guess, kind of adding another layer to Colin Farrell's Penguin?
I like during the film, I didn't ever think, how did she get the key card or whatever to get into the 44 below? So, and just in terms of that, I didn't need that explanation. I guess I don't know the reason. If it was just that was the reason that Reeves like, okay, I got to cut a couple minutes off in here, and this really doesn't add anything to the overall story. We don't really need to know how she got the key card, but I did like to see that side of the Penguin, and just that he's like, you don't want to go down there. And she says, I need the money. I need to go work. I'm going to work downstairs and I need the money, which we know that's not true. She's on a mission for Batman. And to get the card, he's just going to try to give her, you need money? Here, I'll give you some money. You don't need to go down there. So he's got some affection for her and kind of protecting her. Like, you don't need to go down there. But she's going down there. So there's kind of that where, she can't take his money, even though she needs the money probably, because she's got to go down to the 44 below because she's you know, working with Batman, because she's wanting to find Annika at that point as well. So, she's having to reject the Penguin, his help, which kind of it pisses him off. Like what? Yeah, whatever. I think he quacks.
Get to the duck
at that point. Yeah. So, I don't think it would have. You could have kept it in the film and it wouldn't have. I mean, it's 2 minutes. So, if it was just to explain how she got the key, I think a lot of people would have taken it like that. But whatever, I guess. I liked it, but I don't think it had to be in the film. That's really.
I would agree with that. I'll throw it over to you now, Ryan. How'd you feel?
This is so even the positives that you just said, Bill. This is one that I'm glad was cut. If they had to cut something, that they cut this one, and it's not for lack of seeing Colin Farrell's Penguin. Like, I'm so glad we're getting a show because I want to see Colin Farrell as Oz as much as possible because he's awesome. I just kind of feel like what we needed to get out of Oswald in this scene, we did get in the movie. His line for sure of like Falcone's not going to always be around or whatever, and and I'm going to have people see. We get that by the end of the movie.
Yeah, you do. Exactly.
Did you big man Oz? Maybe I am.
Yeah.
We get all of that, and so in Reeves saying like a life full of rejection, I don't know, like I feel like we got that. If maybe us because we saw comments leading up to the movie, or the novel, the junior novel that came out. Like I don't know if there was something. There's just a snippet of Oz in that too. I don't know. I got all of that, and I didn't necessarily need to know how Selena got down to the below. And in my head too, it's like, well, if the scene were inserted in the movie, she's just up in the office with Penguin and she goes right down to the office and then there's Penguin with Falcone, to where it, like, to me it would feel a little bit like, wait, how the hell did he just go? Which I don't know. I do like the fact of it does show a little bit, and I don't think in like some kind of scuzzy, creepy way that Oz feels towards Selena, but when he says, how I feel about you or whatever, I feel like it is like not like as like a
paternal.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. That's what I was trying to think. Like maybe not like paternal, maybe like older brother. I don't know. He does value her, but not in like a creepy way, So
Yeah.
I guess that moment in the deleted scene, I think, is pretty good.
I got
that
more
we
of a-
don't necessarily get that in the movie.
I got more of a creep thing with Falcone and Selena
Oh, it's
than
Falcone, yeah.
than Oz and Selena. I just took it he had some affection for her, kind of protecting her, and they go, "You need money, okay?" Look, and she's, "I don't want your money."
You don't need to go down there. I'll give you money. It's fine. You don't need to go down there. So that's kind of what I got. And I was like, okay, that's a little bit of a good one, but I don't miss it by not getting it.
Yeah.
Because he makes little comments when Batman's in his office in the movie, and she comes in, hey baby, whatever stuff, and it's like it's fine. So I think. I don't know how, like, definitely I've revisited the Joker deleted scene a lot more than this one. I don't know how much I'll revisit this one because I don't feel like I need to.
There's a lot of depth in the Joker deleted scene. This one is just kind of straightforward.
Yeah.
A scene that they cut. There's probably other scenes they've cut that are similar. But I get why Reeves wanted people to see this because it did show a little different side of the Penguin.
Yeah.
As opposed to, we see all kind of different side, hey, Johnny Slick and we'll see you, champ.
Maybe I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Ryan, where we kind of get everything from this scene just spread throughout the movie.
Yeah.
You tell Penguin's insecure about his physical appearances and who he is, just spread out to the Batman. And although I do like this scene, like watching it, I enjoy it. Like but I would agree that it being deleted doesn't bother me at all when compared directly to the other deleted scene, the Joker one, which I think is just a substantially way greater and just like my dad said, deeper. This one's I wouldn't say shallow, it's not like a foot deep, but it's like 4 or 5 feet, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, when going through this film, like I have and Ryan did, and all of us have different times going through it at each scene. There's a lot to discuss and break down, little things, little details, and there's a lot of that in the Joker deleted scene. This one, like I said, it's just kind of straightforward. She's coming.
Yeah.
She's got to get the key card. You see a little different side of Oz. He's trying to protect her, but he ends up getting the card. She gets the card. He gives her the card regardless, but even though he's kind of put off, so not much depth to it.
No, and if she knows about the 44 below, it would make sense that she would have access to get down there.
I always just
I never even thought about it. I never thought about it.
And he's and she's the club within the club. I thought I just figured she had been down there. Even when Batman and she goes, no, I work in the bar or the place about whatever. That's so I just never blinked an eye that she'd have access to it.
And she's a thief anyway, so she could just steal it.
True.
It doesn't really matter.
I mean, in the movie when she, Penguin and then Falcone even walks by, it's not like either one of them are like, "What are you doing down here?" It seems like she goes down here, like she's down here. So there isn't really much of there's no unanswered question.
Well, some of the girls knew her and she knew them as well.
Yeah. So it's okay.
Yeah, I would agree, Ryan, that it does kind of dilute when you see Penguin down there. Hey, let's keep it festive down here.
Yeah.
Later on with Falcone.
I think that's definitely one of the reasons why he cut it. It's just that we didn't need to see how she got the card, and we're going to see the Penguin come down with Falcone right after that anyway. So that's why Reeves is a good
Penguin has so many great lines in this movie.
He does. Yes. He almost steals the show, and that's why I'm looking forward to the Penguin series so much.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because it's tasty, according to Colin Farrell.
What are you showing me? Come on.
we saw just enough of him where he didn't like overpower the Riddler scenes, and it was just enough where I just want more.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely. He was in it more than I thought he was going to be, but definitely did not overstay his welcome.
He talked because Colin Farrell talked like, I only shot for so many days. And I'm only in this, but he feels like he's in the film, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's great.
I mean, because you see him at the end, when he's staring out of Falcone's office throughout the window over Gotham. So
his office.
Yeah. His office now until Maroni shows up.
What's a spoiler alert?
Did they ever say who they casted as Maroni? Because you see him at the beginning of the movie on TV getting arrested or getting moved from like the court case.
I don't know. I can't answer that. Ryan, do you know, sir?
No, I didn't. No, I don't think they've had. I don't think they've.
Because that's the only time you technically see him, but it's very out of focus.
I think it's enough that they can totally recast, and it's
more of like an extra in that role, to a certain extent, and they can get somebody with a bigger name if they want that. Definitely,
I think we're line in the Dark Knight is so legendary. Batman's holding him off. Hey, you're gonna intimidate a guy. Choose choose a higher vantage point or something.
Yeah,
and fall like this, they ain't gonna kill me.
From one professional to another.
Oh yeah,
I'm counting on it. It's the only time still squirm, just as a sound effect.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. I'm excited to see Maroni. Hopefully he's got some legendary lines as well to bounce off from Penguin in the show. But yeah. Oh, I guess we'll just move into like overall thoughts of both scenes. I thought it was kind of weird. I thought about this after watching them yesterday, where both scenes kind of show a characters that are marked by their physical appearances. And
Yeah.
while one with the Joker completely owns it and uses it to manipulate people, the Penguin is still he kind of wears those scars on his sleeve where he's still insecure about it. So two different paths.
Yeah, for sure. I think overall, and Ryan has said it, we've all said it, I think here. A lot more depth to the Joker thing. That is a scene I can watch. Just put it, even if you go to YouTube and just I want to watch it, or even watch it with Reeves commentary, because Warner Brothers YouTube has both versions. You can access. I like watching it because I feel like it's classic Batman Joker. So that is something I will watch again. It's something I would even like. I have not done this, but I'm thinking about. I want to do it. I want to watch, because how long have we been doing this, Ryan? Since April or whatever, somewhere around there. Or whenever.
Kind of in June.
But I haven't seen the whole film.
Let's count back 17
beginning
weeks.
to end in a long time.
Uh-huh.
And I've said, okay, I want to watch it, and then after the morgue scene, go back, watch the Joker cut scene, and then go back and pick up the movie and just kind of watch the movie with that scene and insert it into it. So the next time I watch it fully, I am going to do that. I don't know if it's going to add anything, but because I've seen it, I've watched this scene, I don't know, 10 times probably. So, but it'd just be kind of cool to see it in the order it would have been in the film.
And you, Mr. Lauer, overall thoughts?
I don't know what I watched or what I read that talked about when DVDs hit the scene, that's when deleted scenes became a thing, and the amount of importance that had been put on the pressure of deleted scenes, and that's a selling point, that's a marketing point. And then the amount of disappointment when people watched the deleted scenes and would be like, oh man, the deleted scenes, they aren't very good. And it's like, yeah, that's why they're deleted scenes, because they don't need to be in the movie. But I think there's an absence. I totally respect. Nolan didn't want to include deleted scenes. He's like, this is the movie. This is the final product, period. Yeah. And I totally get that, and I respect that. I know there were little clips that we saw in trailers and stuff, especially with Heath's Joker, that we never saw and we probably will never see. And that's too bad, because I just want to see a little bit more. Reeves, it's going to be a different experience, I think, as we've already started to see. And I'm not saying better or worse. I'm just going to say it's different and fun to be a fan, because we got 2 deleted scenes that I did not mind watching, which is cool. I'm not in any mode of regret of like, damn it, why was it deleted? It should have been in the movie or anything. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. But this is a fun extra, that one of them could be really fun to revisit in the future when we get more. And maybe we view it a little differently. Maybe it feels better in the future when we go back and rewatch this and stuff. I don't know, but it's fun, a fun extra in the end.
It's definitely it's the fan, it's the Batman fan in Reeves saying, yeah, I shot this really cool scene with the Batman and the Joker at Arkham, and Barry Keoghan is awesome. You got to see this. You got to see it.
I mean, like, and I don't, kneel at the altar of Matt Reeves, but it's kind of like, some respect too of, it feels like his decision to pull the scene. Like, he pulled a Batman and Joker scene out of his movie, because the movie works better without it in the movie. And then going into, like you just said, Bill, of like, but we shot it, it's done, it's a cool, fun extra, and it's released. I think that's pretty awesome.
It's almost wrong to call them deleted scenes, because they're both canon. I mean, Matt Reeves has talked that they both happened, like they're real things that happened in this universe. While there are all these other scenes that they probably shot that are actually would be labeled as deleted scenes that we'll never see. So I like how you compared it to how, bonus. No, like Nolan, how Nolan viewed his film versus Matt Reeves being more of a comic book fan, where this is kind of like, this is a panel you missed in the movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool that they released it like while the movie was still in the theater, not just, oh, you have to buy the Blu-ray to see it. I think that was really smart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cool. I'm a fan.
But yeah, I don't really have
Like Matt
anything
Reeves.
else to say about it. I think you guys really.
Yeah. Well, we're down
What
to
happens in the
credits,
chapter by
basically.
chapter? Hit the
Yeah.
nails on the head every time.
Yeah.
I mean, we hit our bingo. I mean, we had good stuff. So there you go. Martinez even made a cameo.
Martinez came in. Yes. Bach was here. They all showed up.
Who's the one scene in the Rither's apartment? I'm like, here are the evidence. You know, we got that
Yeah.
guy.
What about
Wearing
chain
gloves.
evidence?
Yeah. Chain evidence. I can't wait to see more GCPD characters. some new rookies or something. I don't know. I don't know where you can go. They've already peaked.
Tough act to follow with Martinez and company.
It is. Yeah.
Martinez really had an arc over the movie, didn't he?
He did. He did. He went
Yeah.
from you freak, with Batman to, I mean, he's like they're partnering up in the the Riddler's apartment, That's a tough.
So he's kind of like what, this version of Montoya, kind of.
Could be.
Yeah, in a way.
I'm surprised Reeves didn't include the deleted scenes of Martinez and Batman skipping in a montage with my best friend playing in the background. Give me that one, Reeves.
Yeah.
But I respect him. He gave us the Joker once, so
Hey, Mr. Wayne. Now it's gonna be hey,
Yeah.
Batman.
Batman.
I was hoping one of these deleted scenes eventually would have been something with Alfred, because I feel like Alfred's one thing I wish we would have got towards the end of the movie, just seeing him one more time.
I think I'm really interested. In the Art of the Batman book, we did see art of interior GCPD, and not just with the holding cell and the hallway, like the big common police desks and stuff in the Art of the Batman book. And I must have missed that apparently there was an image of Jeffrey Wright's Gordon in that room that was kind of released. And I just saw it the other day because, on Twitter, and somebody made some random, Gordon statement. And I'd never seen that picture before. And I was like, oh, so they're, I wonder if they really did make. I'm not saying that I need it, but it's just interesting because I did like the look in the Art of the Batman book. The storyboard art of that.
Kind of like where they left it with Alfred and Bruce, because it gives me something to look forward to and seeing what the relationship is now in the next film. There'll be more. We've seen a little bit, just little snippets of Alfred helping Bruce, but this one, I think, there's been a turning point with the relationship, so it'll be good to see where
it's gonna
where
be
that
so
evolves.
fun watching this Bruce Wayne do a press conference.
I hadn't thought about that. That would be. I know Bruce Wayne and the Batman. That would be pretty awkward press conference.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds so boring. A press conference, but in this sense, with this Bruce, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I think I told you, Bill, that Pattinson's interview on Jimmy Kimmel, I could see that being his. I don't know. That could be public Bruce Wayne.
Pattinson, the way he does his interviews he's a good interview for TV, because he's doing bits and doesn't take anything very seriously. So yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't work out. I don't know if you guys ever heard about that.
He had a Bosu ball and a one dumbbell, one top-time dumbbell.
$25 million on computer effects to give him abs and muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
In the Black Adam, they actually use CGI to make The Rock look less big, which I think is hilarious. In certain scenes, they actually did that.
I'd believe it.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Mr. Rock, you're too big.
We got to CGI you down, sir.
Yep, shrink you down a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if we don't get out of here, we're probably going to talk forever. I'm going to, I guess, for the rest of the day for me, play a little Gotham Knights, which just came out not long ago. It is a new, technically Batman game out. It's okay, to say the least. And I'm hopefully watch the Mavericks win later today. So
have you played any of the Gotham Knights?
Yeah, I played a decent amount of hours of Gotham Knights. It's okay. It's basically exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
And there's a lot of very like techie, nerdy gamer stuff I could get into right now, but it's a whole other thing that people are upset about.
The sheriff Ryan Haas. I've been waiting for him to tell me what he thinks, and he's withheld his thoughts.
Yeah, he finally added me. I guess we're close enough friends now where he added me on PlayStation. So we're gonna get in there together and co-op as whoever he plays as.
His best friends.
Well,
Yeah,
I have an idea.
Batman.
Here's an idea. You and Haas can do a Raimi review of Gotham Knights, and then we can end up putting it on Batman on Film. Yeah.
I got a page and a half of notes already about this game.
Okay. All right.
So
there you go.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's get out of here.
Any last comments, guys?
That's
Before
it.
we get out of here.
That's
like
it.
Batman.
That's all I got.
I like the Batman. So there we go.
What about plugins, Ryan? What you got next?
Oh my goodness. I'm sending Bill later today the next episode of Batmanimation with our pal, our Oox's friend, Peter Vera, the Oox's champion, where we talked to the Batman, the animated series, Grundy's Night, because it's a Halloween episode. Awesome episode. Perfect viewing this time of year. It only takes up 21 minutes of your time if you've never watched it. So highly recommend you track that down. It's on HBO Max, season 2, episode 11. But anyways, sending that bill today. So just check the podcast feed. It might already be available by the time you're listening to me plug it. And then my podcast, the Batman Book Club, that both of you guys have been on a few times and will be asked to be on again in the future. Most recent episode is with Peter Vera, where we talk Jeff Loeb, Tim Sales, Legends of the Dark Knight Halloween special, Ghosts. So that's on BOF or wherever you listen to podcasts. And then on BOF, I have a review for Sean Murphy's Batman Beyond the White Knight #6 that just came out this past Tuesday. So there you go. Just go to BOF. Just go to Batman.
Yeah. Do you have anything to plug in, Bill, besides obviously Batman on Film?
Just go to Batman on Film. That's all I got.
Go to Batman.
Find all those shows. Ron talked about them. The Batmanimations. Batman. I have to really slow down to say that because my mush mouth Southeast accent comes out. Batmanimation. Those shows have been really fun to do and fun to listen to because haven't been on all of them. So Micah's did one with Hobby on Batman Beyond, the original, the 2-part debut episode, I should say. And then it ended up being, they call it the Batman Beyond movie. You can get it as the movie. So yeah, I like those. So check those out. Just besides the podcast, the chapter by chapter and the social hour and stuff like that. That's all I got. Let's go Batman on Film.
Yeah. Yep. For myself, you can find everything I do more than likely linked to Batman on Film or on my YouTube channel, Raimi Review. But with that, announcer Rachel will take us out of here. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for listening to the BOF Social Hour, Jet's official vlog and podcast on Batman on Film. Follow Jet on Twitter @Batman on Film. Follow the BOF newsfeed on Twitter @The Batman on Film. For Jet and everyone at BOF, I'm announcer Rachel. Authoritative, definitive, the original, Batman on Film, established in 1998.